So, welcome everyone to the class on PLM. So, we have completed our syllabus, revised the question papers, done with the interaction sessions. So, today afternoon, you'll be having a quiz what I'll be sharing in the Google Classroom at around 2:40. Okay, so you need to take that just an overview to understand about the entire concept of PLM. So it is generally been as relevant practically how it has been applied in many industries and organizations. You have dealt with many case studies until now, so you'll be able to answer them, right? So I'll be sharing that in afternoon around 2:40 p.m. So currently now the guys who haven't given the interaction sessions, I think one is Ritesh, Lokamitra is done. Chetan, have you done it?
Yes, ma'am,
Hello?
I'm done.
Yeah. Anirudh? Anirudh C. Hello. Arun D is here.
Yes, ma'am. I
You have
finished it.
done right, Arun. Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. Yeah. So we will just take a part of Ritesh discussion and then we'll move on with the rest part of it. Yeah, Ritesh. Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what is the topic for the day?
Oh, can I say it in the afternoon or something like that? I didn't prepare.
It was told you people long. There is nothing as such you need in preparation. Just speak about what you have understood overall with an example. You can take any topic either from module 1 to until module 5.
Yesterday.
Hello?
Ma'am, 2 minutes, ma'am. Let's say the
Yeah,
topic.
yeah, 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 yeah. Shaurya,
Yes, ma'am.
you're done with the topic, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I have just seen your report. Okay, so by the end of the day, I'll just give you an
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
status how about your report is.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, so currently I just wanted to discuss with you all overall many case studies we have done now individually module wise. So in general on the whole about PLM I just wanted to share how it is implemented successfully in an organization. So I will be just sharing you 2 minutes. Is it visible? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is an entire PLM framework, how it has been applied in a particular company. So it is an energy company which has developed an PLM framework. So you cannot directly implement PLM without establishing a proper channel, a framework, yeah, whatever. So it has to be equipped well enough and PLM has to be embedded with PDM so that it will be able to manage the entire stages of each and every phases of a product right from initiation planning until the product is on to the market. Even when it is onto the market you have a specific life cycle which deals about right from the initiation to the decline stage, so you know how it works overall. So now how it has been implemented, how for the first time when a company need to implement the PLM strategy, how do they develop a specific framework? So about that we have a very keen case study which helps you in general how it has to be implemented. So we have dealt with respect to module wise. This is on the whole general, so which is applicable to all the 5 modules. So I thought I will take this case study towards the end of the completion of our syllabus so that you will be able to understand better. So you know our PLM has been related always to an business approach. It is not only an approach towards marketing and getting good sales and profit and managing only the specific phases of a product. It is with respect to the business approach also. So in order to make a product a good turnover, he should be a good entrepreneur apart from the businessman is different and an entrepreneur is different. So businessman will just focus about the sales and profit, Okay, but whereas apart from that, there are many skills and strategies which has to be taken care by an entrepreneur. So it shows you an business approach that is being needed in any organization to get a desired effect. Okay, so different aspects in which the people have to take care is related to the product data. So that is one of the aspect what they have to take care with respect to business approach. So second one is about the people who are our clients, who are the customers, right? To which location you are focusing the marketing part. So it again varies with respect to the geographical location. First, you have to identify the location through which you are focusing, right? So customers for which geographical location you're focusing. It could be within the country, it could be outside the country. If it has to be outside the country, you should be having default various collaborations with the abroad industries and companies, so that it helps in increasing the GDP of an particular company, or else it won't be able to get the GDP growth for and recognition for an company in international market. So also after that, what is the other part the people have to focus on? It is about the process, which type of process is being carried out. So it again depends upon different types of products what you're going to manufacture. Each product will be having its own process. So how we are using this process in an optimized channel. So all these, and what are the IT technologies which are being enabled. So all these things should be properly integrated into a proper streamline to achieve a good successive result with competitive advantages in comparison to the other companies if in case they are manufacturing the same type of products. For that, what are the tools needed basically? The PLM needs of various operational tools that can support the implementation of these theoretical principles. So what principles now I just briefed out should be applicable practically. So in order to make it applicable practically, we should be having some operational tools, and hence PLM basically is embedded with these tools so that it helps to convert the theoretical concepts and the principles into reality. So this is what in this paper it will be going to explain. I'm just briefing out the abstract part of it. Okay. So related to that, in this paper, they have made an extreme survey in the literature about various companies which need the framework for initiating the PLM strategies into the company. So they have told us the different way how an company was able to successfully implement a framework for PLM. So based on various actions of research concluded, so it was made to realize that the paper wants to it was made to realize that the development and the application of PLM framework, how it was successful for a specific energy company. So it was an Italian based energy company, what it has been focused in this paper. So how did they do the framework? So what they made is the framework was purely based on product centered and focused on process and related IT system. The framework what they developed was basically product oriented, product centered framework, which mainly focused on all the process which involves in making a product. And while making a product, always it has to be enabled to IT related systems, right? So they focus both on the process as well as IT related systems. Just a second. Okay, so this is the overview of the paper, what it will be dealing about. So now we just start up with our introduction part related to how did they survey about various company strategies about implementing the framework of an PLM. So everyone you know what you mean by PLM, no need to explain me again. And it also just helps in knowing the integrated management of technological, methodological and strategical issues. it is not like only it focuses on various stages of a particular product right from beginning to the end and declare its life cycle time and when the sales and profit will be more. But apart from that, it helps in managing many things right from the selection part of the material to that of the product into the market. So what are these integrated management skills which are associated? One is it helps in managing the technological aspects which are essential to make the product as per the requirement of the customers with respect to the technical and the specification details right from bill of materials. So second one is the methodological aspects. It also helps in managing the methodological aspect for any project. Defining a methodology is very much essential. If you go wrong in defining the methodology for what you need to achieve, so then it will be of a loss. So to define the methodology, you should be knowing what is the main goal of an project. So based on the goal, you will describe the objectives. Based on the objectives, your methodology will be defined. And after defining the methodology, it has to be managed properly to see that every steps what you have put into the framework is been followed properly or not. For that, they should be having people with management skills. So these are being taken care by the project manager. So apart from project manager, you should be having an quality analyst, so who will be an Six Sigma certified person who will take care about the qualitative part. So these people are very much essential in checking whether the methodological framework which has been done is going out successfully or not. So next is the strategic issues. So many strategies will be developed right from initiation phase to the decline phase, and also many strategies will be developed with respect to the marketing part, campaigning before the product is into the market, and doing the campaigning and marketing of the product when it is into the market. So there are many marketing strategies which has to be followed. So for all these aspects, there should be a systematic management part which has to be taken care. So PLM also means integrating these aspects when the product is into defining stage to that of the end stage when it has been made. So these issues has to be managed properly, so which is being achieved by our product life cycle management. So that was being disclosed by few people. Okay, so along with that, product data also plays a vital role. We have studied what you mean by PLM and also what you mean by product data management. Both goes hand in hand, right? Always PLM has to be embedded with product data management, so that you'll be having all the data needed and you can embed all these in a respiratory system and a particular software related to PLM, so that you'll be having all the database related to the product what you have to manufacture, right? So even a product data has to be created and it has to be used successfully. Embedding PDM into a company also plays a vital role, but embedding both PLM and PDM together will take much amount of time, and it is expensive also for the initial implementation. But once it is done successfully, you can play like anything in manufacturing any kind of products, because it helps in reducing a large amount of time duration which is needed right from checking the amount of the material needed, the vendor management, procurement, outsourcing, equipments, all those, because everything related to that will be in-housed in the product data management software. So you can survey and click and get the materials needed on time related to the area in which you are working. And as a result, many companies refer to PLM considerations on both the IT sides and also on non-IT side companies. It is not, it is just focused on IT related companies. It can be implemented in non-IT companies as well. So based on this theoretical background, I want to tell you that many research scholars have developed various models and frameworks for PLM. So it is not that you have to dig from the beginning and do the mathematical modeling and develop how the PLM framework has to be developed. No, many people have done it already. So the existing framework could be checked by the company or an organization whether these frameworks are feasible for us or not, because it depends upon the product what you are manufacturing. So if it is feasible, then you can go on with the existing models. If it is not feasible, if your model is little bit different, so then you can help in fine tuning the existing model, do the optimized way of channeling the framework of a PLM. So anything could be done. So related to these, many case studies are being analyzed in industries. So that was also reported by few scholars. So these references are shown at the end. So the available works means the available work done by various researchers have helped in exploring the content of many energy companies related to the PLM framework. And as a result, always there should be an research action in between various universities and industries. Then the people will be coming to know like what they are studying and what exactly it's been needed in outside industry or organization. If both are mapped together, so then framing of PLM framework will be very much easier. So based on this, this paper explores a case study on the relations of an Italian leading energy company. Okay, so this PLM framework was proposed and validated also. How it is validated, we will see. So the main aim of this research paper was to generate and view around how a PLM for a particular company could be implemented, even though it is a complex or an regular product development, and also it is a generalized way, because it is not essential that always you should focus on high technological sectors. It could be of medium technological sectors also. So the strategy or the framework what we develop should be able to applicable to many sectors. If it is generalized, if you are focusing on only for high technological sectors, then you have to develop a framework for the other technological sectors as well. So we have the research methods and the results which was been developed, and they have shown the process also for specific gas turbine how it has been developed. So we'll go to that quicker. So the background of it just speaks about various PLM models which were developed by various scholars. Okay, so first model, hello. So the first model was being developed by Buddle. Okay, so he showed various models which are the key elements in implementing the PLM. So he made these elements as strategy, the process, product structure, and IT structure. So these were the four elements which was being developed by Mr. Buddle, and he created a mathematical model for it. And similarly, other peoples like Shocha ETAL, he also developed, proposed and model. Okay, so this model also consisted about various elements in an PLM process. And later, still there were people who developed various models, and again here by Mr. Rangan, he defined a broad scope of PLM specifying 8 key dimensions. So previously a person showed around 4 to 5 elements, right? So this person proposed a model which had 8 elements. So he included the business drivers also, transformation drivers, domain model, generic product lifecycle, PLM tool, implementation drivers, and deployment transitions. So these are all the elements which usually comes into picture. So we never thought about the business drivers as an element in PLM before. So this is very much essential. So it mainly focus on the company's business skills. So who are there, how about the business skills, how they can successfully implement the product into the market, which type of business oriented approach they are following. So all these will be considered. And then transformation drivers, so the business strategies which are implemented by the core entrepreneur, so how it has been transformed, is it transformed successfully or not. So based on the transformation strategies, the domain model will be established. Okay, if it is not transferred properly, then the model which has been needed will not be defined properly. So once the domain model has been developed and generic product which has been needed could be manufactured, which will be within the defined project life cycle. So in order to develop a generic product, we should be able to use the PLM tools. So we spoke about the PLM tools already in our abstract part, right? So how we use our PLM tools? And then implementation drivers. So once you have the domain model, once you have a keen life cycle for generic development of a product and also PLM tool ready, it has to be implemented, right? So without implementing, you won't get anything in actual as a product. So you should be having the implementation drivers for it. And finally, and deployment transition. So how you are transiting the product which has been manufactured into the market? What about the deployment process which is coming into the picture? So these are all the elements which were being defined by a particular researcher by name Rangan. Okay, so he defined 8 elements. So similarly, many people define around 4 elements, 5 elements, 6 elements, and they propose different types of models associated. Some also developed the PLM functions associated with the product data. So what they are told as the metadata. So these people focused on 3 elements which tell about the PLM functions, the process, and the metadata associated with a particular product. So it depends upon the perception how each researcher have focused on. It might not be necessary that all the elements will be applicable in general for any product. So it again specifically depends upon which type of product you are manufacturing. So based on that, the available models which are being defined by various researchers here in the paper could be used. If it is not mapping at all, you can fine tune the existing models of PLM and see that that is mapping with that of your requirement to manufacture your particular product. So that is the agenda of telling you about the background part of PLM models. Okay, so this is about the people who have thrown their own models based on how a PLM framework could be achieved. So to make or to establish a PLM framework, one thing you have to keep in mind, you need the PLM proposed models. So these models are already proposed by many researchers and these are being told in our background part of the research paper. Okay, so introduction, first we told what is PLM exactly, what is been done until now related to it, and background studies deals with that of the PLM models which were being developed by various researchers in order to implement a good PLM framework. So that is been listed out in our background part. Now we come out into the research design part. So what's happening here in research design? So we follow an research method, right? So for research method which has to be followed, so a little bit of groundwork related to the previous literature was being taken care. So in this aspect, this paper wants to describe the development and application of PLM framework. It is not only developing the framework, also how to use this, how to see that it's being used successfully. So how it will be checked? It will be checked with respect to the product centered orientation as and also focusing on the process and involved IT systems. So this we spoke in our abstract part. So this PLM framework is being developed to see that how successful it is being applied on product centered approach and about the process of the product and embedding around into the IT system of a particular company. In this case, it is an energy company from an Italian based one. So here the paper is mainly addressing how to represent a PLM framework for complex products. It is not they are focusing in normal product or in medium one. So at the complex level of the product, so they are successfully showing how an PLM framework could be implemented. Okay. Yes. So main thing is about the PLM framework you have to understand. So this is about the background. So what they are doing it exactly, and research context. So what they are referring. So this is about the company. Ansaldo Energia is an Finmecanian group company, and it is the Italian largest supplier, installer and service provider for generation of power, okay, and its components. So AEN is a manufacturing company which is working in an production of gas turbine, steam turbine and generators which are dedicated to energy production. So this is a company which is mainly focusing on energy production, okay. So it could be either through gas turbines or steam turbines. So depending upon the type of contract, these AEN company are providing variety of system configurations which are ranging right away from simple supply of machines to the design, implementation and management of the entire plan. So they are seeing that they are able to configure the machines, and they supply simple type of machines based on the designs what they are implementing, and they are also managing the entire power plant. So this is the actual work of AEN company. So this AEN company has considered PLM as a very essential and strategic tool to manage information of that particular company, to manage the process, entire process of this power plant, and also the resources that support the product along its life cycle. So they are using PLM as an entire boundary coverage for their power production, because they are using this in each and every process, right. See, you can see they are using right from conceptualization to the design, and also from the manufacturing to the sell and until the maintenance. So they are focusing even on design, manufacturing of that product, selling it, and also focusing on the maintenance part. So they have implemented PLM for each and every elements which are associated in manufacturing and product. So how about the result of that particular company? So here each time a company product is designed and physically realized, delivered to a customer, and in some cases also maintained and disposed, its life cycle is put into effect. Okay, so leave this. So here how it has been proposed. So you should be mainly concerned about how the PLM framework is being proposed for that particular company. So this PLM framework is composed by 4 blocks and related relational levels. So what are these 4 blocks? So it has block A, which provides a PLM definition and foundation. So it has again block B. So this focuses on the PLM phases and the process which are involved. And block C refers about the PLM configurations and the management views, how it is being viewed. And finally block D is focusing on IT enabled PLM architecture. I told you that it has to be associated with the process, with IT technologies, and as well as for the management aspect of it. So everything is being covered over here. So now we have to see what are the blocks associated individually. So block A is about the company's products. So it speaks about the entire product tree. So entire product tree right from the need or the desire of the customer, and then the conceptual design and how the design has been finalized by the design engineer, and finally you will go for modeling and analysis, and after that you go for prototyping, then you go for virtual manufacturing if needed, then for actual manufacturing. So a product has its own tree, so that is been channeled in block A. So once the company's product tree is developed, so you will be focusing on the structure of the product. So we focused on product building and its structures in the last module, right? So it has its own structure matrix, right, from organ structure to functional structure, processing structure. So all type of 4 structures clubbed together will provide you the product matrix. So that is being focused here as a second part of block A. And third one, structure of product components. So this is a structure of product on the whole, what you get after assembly. So before that I told you we have 4 type of structures. So this is related only to the components which will be mated together to get the final product after the assembly. So all these will be defined, fine-tuned, channeled into the framework. So this is for the part block A. And similarly, second block B will focus on synthesis of company's product life cycle. So once the block A is done with the company's product which has to be manufactured, right, and then it focuses on the synthesis of the company's product life cycle. Just a second, I want to share a I just wanted to share a link for the students. Yeah. Fine. So this is so regarding block B, it focuses on only the product life cycle. So synthesis of a company's product life cycle. You know what you mean by life cycle, what are the stages involved. So this block B will focus on it. And again you have a second sector which focuses on product life cycle phases. So these life cycle phases will be having value added chain diagrams. Okay, so this is about the company's product life cycle phase. So which has different parts. So process of specific product life cycle phase, process activities for specific product life cycle, then detail of IT system input output. So all these categories will be included in block B. So until now we were just focusing on product life cycle phase, but it will have all these channels in a framework. So which covers the entire part which is being needed in synthesizing and product. And later block C will include again different steps, so which provides only based on the management aspects, sets of configuration management views for a particular company's product configurations. You will be knowing how it varies with respect to the upgradation of the product. So you should be having a management views for that also. And again metadata related to the product data management, so that also will be focused. So managing part will be associated with the data management as well. So what you will be having, so all the managing skills which are needed will be assigned to our block C. Similarly, last, the IT related systems also you should join, right? So IT related aspects also will be associated in our block D. Just a second, they have some problem in joining. Yeah, so this is about the all the blocks, right from block A to block D, which is being focused on the PLM framework. So this is about how they have developed a framework for a particular company. So this will be developed before any product has been manufactured. They are disturbing continuously. Okay, so once this framework is been done, then they are just focusing on the application of how it was applied into the AEN company for our process of gas turbine concept. So here accordingly, since it is an gas turbine power plant of AEN company which are focusing on energy generation, so they had different categories like product definition, concept design, pre-design, detailed design, so all those things. So how did they implemented this aspect, because you know, according to analyzed AEN practices, these are the following life cycles they have been defined. So what all cycle they have in a for a product here is: one is the plan, concept development, product design, manufacturing, sell and distribution, service and disposal. So they have some extra part related to the product life cycle. So they have defined here into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 phases. We usually study in general product life cycle which has 5 phases. So here they have categorized into 7 based on the framework what they have developed here. Okay, so the first one here is a plan. So a product life cycle always starts with a definition of a company's strategic plan that you are very well in a well known. So planning has to be done based on the requirement of the customers. So in order to map the requirements of the customers, you will do the planning part, the strategic plan which is needed to achieve the requirements of the customer. So once the planning is done, you know, the concept will be developed, concept sketch will be done, and later the actual design will be drafted. So n number of designs will come into picture, and later the design engineer will select which is the most competitive design which could be compatible with that of the other products in the market. So based on that, the product design will be fine tuned. So a job order will be received and product will be defined, developed and installed as per the given details. So once the product design is done, then the manufacturing will come into picture. So it is a comprehensive of all the industrialization activities which are essential, because it is coming into the actual manufacturing. So it includes two fundamental moments: the product process design and the effective production. So it goes both in parallel. So what is the productive process design and how effectively the production is done? So based on the process which is being designed for production, this effective production of that particular product will be taken care. And once the production is done, they will focus on the phase sell and distribution. Okay, so selling of the product, distributing of the market, distributing of the products. So it helps in realizing the product is delivered and it has been installed to the customer side successfully, and the customer is operating the product successfully. Okay, so when the product is into the market, the customer is been using, you need a service sector for that. So you should see that when the product is operative in any site, a set of maintenance activities which are needed by the customer is been given on the agreement basis condition. So you will be having a free service like around for 1 year, 2 year with respect to the agreement conditions, and later it will be payable, where the customers have to pay for the given service. So once the product is good, running successfully, it will be reliable for a certain period of time. So you can get an successive